To edit a drop-down list in Google Sheets, click the cell that contains the drop-down you want to change. Then go up to the menu bar and click ********** data ******* and select ****** data validation ******. That opens the panel where you can directly modify the options, colors, and rules without having to delete and recreate the whole thing. This is a huge time saver, especially if you've already set up several drop-downs across your sheet. I'll walk you through the exact steps for both ways drop-downs are usually built, manually typed options and options pulled from a list of cells, so you can handle any situation. If this saves you some hassle, please like and subscribe, and let's get into it. When the data validation panel opens, you'll see a section labeled Criteria. Right below that is where your drop-down options are listed, either as a series of typed entries or as a reference to a range like Sheet 2, a 1, a 10. If your drop-down was created by typing in the options one by one, you'll see each option on its own row, often with a colored square next to it. To edit an existing option, just click directly on the text and type the new name, for example changing Not Started to To Do. Hit ***** enter **** on your keyboard to save that change. The color chip next to it lets you pick a new background color for that option inside the drop-down menu, which can help visually separate statuses. To add a brand new choice, click the **** add another item *** button. A new row appears. Type the option name, pick a color if you want, and press enter. You can add as many as you need this way. If you need to remove an option that's no longer relevant, like an old category that's been retired, look for the *****x** or trash icon on the right side of that options row. Click it, and that value is gone from every cell using this drop-down rule. You can also rearrange the order by clicking and dragging the 6-dot grid icon on the left of each option row. This is useful if you want the most common choices at the top. Once you've made all your changes, take a moment to look at the preview area on the right side of the panel. It shows what the drop-down will look like with your updated options and colors. When you're satisfied, click the blue ****done button. Now, go back to your sheet, click that same cell, and open the drop-down menu. You should see your new options, the renamed ones and the removed ones missing entirely. Select one of the updated choices to confirm it enters into the cell correctly. Then click another cell that uses the same data validation rule. If you made the change through the panel, every cell with that rule updates automatically. Now, if your drop-down was originally set up to pull options from a range of cells, like a list of departments stored in a separate column or sheet, you won't see individual option rows inside data validation. Instead, you'll see something like Sheet 2, a 1, a 10 in a box. In that case, you don't edit the drop-down itself, you edit the source list. Close the data validation panel, navigate to the worksheet or column where that source range lives, and click directly on a cell to change its text. For example, if you have marketing in cell A3 and you want to rename it brand marketing, just type the new name over it and press enter. Save the sheet if needed, then go back to any cell with the drop-down. Open the drop-down menu and the updated value is already there, no extra steps required. To add a new option when using a source range, simply insert a new value into an empty cell within that range, or extend the range by inserting a row between existing entries. As long as the new value falls inside the reference range, it will appear in the drop-down. This method is incredibly efficient for large or frequently changing lists, because you only update one place, and every drop-down tied to that range refreshes instantly. Let me give you a real-world example. Imagine you manage a project tracker with a status drop-down in every row. You started with Not Started, In Progress, and Complete. A few months in, your team realizes they need On Hold and Blocked. Instead of going cell by cell or rebuilding the validation, you can open the data validation panel for any existing status cell. Click Add Another Item, type On Hold, assign it a yellow color, and click Done. Every single status drop-down in the sheet now includes On Hold. Later, if you decide to rename Not Started to Do, you edit that one line in the panel and it changes everywhere. The key is understanding which method was used to create the drop-down. Manually typed options get edited inside the validation panel. Range-based options get edited on the source sheet. A common pitfall here is trying to edit a range-based drop-down by typing new values into the data validation panel. That will just break the link and convert it to a static list, which you usually don't want. After you've made any edits, always test several drop-down cells. Open a few different ones, pick a few options, and make sure the values appear correctly. Check that any formulas, filters, or conditional formatting tied to those cells still work. For example, if you have a filter set up to show only complete tasks, renaming complete to done will break that filter until you update the filter criteria. Also, keep your option naming consistent. Avoid having in progress, and in progress as separate entries. Standardize on one format. This keeps your data clean for reports, pivot tables, and analysis. If your drop-down list is shared with a team or used across multiple sheets, test on a few devices or ask a colleague to verify. The goal is that everyone sees the same updated choices. If over time you find yourself constantly adding and removing options, consider switching a manually typed drop-down to a source range drop-down. Create a dedicated list on a hidden or helper sheet. Use that as your range, and then you can update options anytime without reopening data validation. It's a one-time setup that pays off in the long run for heavily used spreadsheets. Once everything looks good, save your spreadsheet, and if others need access, share it with them. Open it on another device if you can. Sometimes drop-down rendering can differ slightly across screens, especially with custom colors. Give it a final test by selecting a few random cells, picking different options, and confirming they all behave as expected. You now know exactly how to edit drop-down lists in Google Sheets, whether they're built from typed options or referenced from a range. Keep your option lists organized and review them occasionally as your data changes. That one small habit will save you and your team a lot of confused clicking later. Thanks for following along. If you ever need a refresher, just come back to this video.